been talking today at the RSE at Inverness Dino Digs and Monster Myths event. We've invited lots of kids, lots of families to come, and we've been chatting about monster stories. We've been chatting about why people love monsters. I'm a storyteller and author, so I've been talking about why I work with monster stories and why kids love hearing monster stories, why we like being scared, what we learn from monster stories. I've learned a lot as well, actually. I've been listening to people talking about the statistics of sea monsters and about the science of Loch Ness and about finding dinosaur fossils, all of which might give me a little bit of material for stories, because writers are always gathering new ideas. But we've had so many enthusiastic children.
I think it's really important to popularise science and ecology and statistics, and so I came here today to talk about statistical methods for exploring the science of monsters. Science is too important to be left to scientists, and so it's really important that the general public can understand science, understand the consequences of scientific discoveries and how that may influence them. And of course, science is just fun. It's nice to get the new discoveries out there and to infuse people with the same enthusiasm that we've got.
Everybody loves dinosaurs, I think. Everybody knows dinosaurs, and dinosaurs are just such a great gateway into science. So events like these, where you're able to meet a lot of young children and inspire them, enthuse them with tales of discovery, tales of prehistory, I think this is just a really wonderful opportunity. I think events like these allow young kids to meet scientists, to meet explorers, to meet storytellers, writers, the sort of thing that kids can't easily get in the classroom normally. And so I love doing these events, and anytime I get to travel around Scotland or anywhere else to meet young kids and talk about dinosaurs, I jump at that opportunity because they just love it. People always ask me what my favorite dinosaur is. It's probably the most common question I get. It's a tough question to answer. I think it's like asking a parent, which of their kids is their favorite. And so I feel bad making a call. And so a lot of times I tell kids it's whatever dinosaur I'm working on at the moment. But if you really kind of, hold me to the fire, I'll say T-Rex, just because it was such a fantastic animal, so different, so much bigger and scarier than anything alive today. But nobody did ask me that question today. I think the best question I got was this question of how did dinosaurs evolve? And it's a very simple question, but a very deep question, and we're learning so much more about that with each new fossil discovery. We're learning more and more about dinosaurs now than we've ever known before, and that's because people are finding so many new dinosaurs, one new species each week on average, and there's so many new technologies, CAT scanners to look inside of dinosaur bones and very powerful microscopes to figure out the color of dinosaurs. So I think there are many things that remain to learn about dinosaurs. I think for me, what I'm really focused on now is making sure that we bring dinosaurs to people and we articulate why dinosaurs are relevant, what dinosaurs tell us about our world. That to me is the big goal for my career.
I'm Adrian Shine. I'm a naturalist. I work at Loch Ness. I've led the Loch Ness project, and I'm the designer of the public exhibition at Drumnadrochit. Well, I think the key thing about a function like this, which is primarily for children, is, in my case, to talk about a subject which is controversial in adult terms, about Loch Ness monsters, which may very well not be swimming about in Loch Ness, but to use the argument and our wish that there was something big floating about in Loch Ness to stimulate thought in terms of animals. And so I talk about animals, the characteristics of animals, and the way in which they could, perhaps in a slightly evolved form or in a form that we haven't found yet, contribute to the mystery. Things, for example, that may not live in the loch all the time, emphasizing the river connection, the maritime connection. The sea is the great unknown. It is our final lost world. But if we can find and look at these other lost worlds, like lakes, and use the myths attaching to them to actually bring the things we'd like to believe in into a more rational way of thinking, just as the Loch Ness Monster and sea monsters have evolved, if you like, in form, and the things that people thought they might be have changed, and that has largely been under the influence of science. I showed that Loch Ness monsters effectively came from the outside in cultural terms, starting with the kelpies, which were a very bad news piece of shape-shifting, rather carnivorous. I showed that we began to rationalize the idea of strange things being seen in Loch Ness, primarily from the traditions of sea monsters and sea serpents in particular, because they are a ubiquitous form with all their loops and humps. But as they became less feasible in terms of the scientific way of looking at them, so the fossils found by Mary Anning on the coast of England actually included plesiosaurs, which were long-necked creatures, reptiles contemporary with dinosaurs, not dinosaurs. They became extinct with the dinosaurs, but we'd love it if they were still here. And I think a lot has got to do with that long neck, that serpentine form. Goes right back to Eden. We've tried to make our myths believable, reacting to the input of science.
I have a plesiosaur, and I think this is an Allosaurus. This is like very good at running and catching stuff to eat, and this is good at swimming and catching fish. I would like to be a paleontologist when I grow up because I really like dinosaurs and I really want to find a new dinosaur that nobody's ever found before.
Unfortunately, I have grown up and I would like to be a paleontologist, but I'm a bit too old for that now, aren't I? Am I?
I could do it.
Oh, good stuff, you could do it.
We came here because our Young Archaeologists Club, or YAC for short, brought us here. My favourite dinosaur is the Triceratops.
I think my favourite is Quetzalcoatlus.
It's quite difficult. I enjoyed everything.
I think I enjoyed the storytelling best.
We will definitely come back
Definitely.
for more.